Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions, pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance. All backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.
I did that.
That is fancy.
I did that one time too. They're still cheap. I mean, they're not as cheap as Jenny, but they're Jenny. They're not as cheap as
you. Leave
Benny.
Jenny out of this. All right.
What did Jenny do?
What did Jenny do? Ow. Jenny's just minding her own business. There's an 80s song about Jenny.
Yeah, 8675309.
Is that her phone number?
Yeah.
Is that how you call Jenny? Oh yeah. Okay.
8675309.
Okay. Yep. I knew those. I just couldn't think of it.
Yeah,
I'm off today.
That's all right. We got a new, not really a new, but an updated review.
Ooh, there it is. There it is.
But
oh my God. I love it.
And she's sweet.
Can I read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh my God. Quote, this is the podcast equivalent of a mug of hot cocoa. I'm going to cry. On the couch when it's snowing outside. The hosts are funny, friendly, and say very Midwestern things like oofda, which I love. No complaints. No complaints for you. We love you so much.
I know. She's great.
And I know you might think that we put the oofdas in, because we're Midwestern. No, they just come organically.
A lot of times, yeah.
We don't have to think about them.
Yeah.
We will just say them.
Yeah.
Oofda and op. If I had a nickel for every time I said op, I could retire. That is the sweetest. That almost made me cry. Yeah. That is so sweet.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Should we jump on in?
Let's just jump right on in.
Let's just dive in.
The main event. It's time for Research and Rabbit Holes, where the facts get weirder and the ghosts get louder.
Main event. All right. Well, welcome back, everybody. Tonight, we are doing our deep dive into the Dead Files episode we recapped last time, which is Lady in Black Season 10, Episode 6. So this is Amy's Research and Rabbit Holes. Amy told me I could look at the notes that she has in there, but we all know I didn't. So listeners, you and I are going to be having the same reactions.
Yeah.
Because I like to be surprised. I don't like to know.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I wasn't meaning that you should have studied ahead of time. I just meant while we're doing this, go ahead and look if you want to. But if you don't want to, that's fine.
She just had a break to scold me. And she was like, I told you this was going to be on the midterm review.
I told you.
And you didn't study. And then she goes, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Disappointed.
Yeah. So just kidding. She didn't say that.
Yeah. No. This reminds me of Shut the Fuck Up, Nick Lachey.
Yes.
Where Daisy and Ellen's always like, Daisy, can you just mute for a second? I want to she acts like she's taking it offline, but they're still rolling. Yeah. And then she'll be like, Ben or whoever their editor's name is, cut that part out. And he never does. But she's always like scolding Daisy. Like, can you just not be like that? Can you just like,
they do that.
What are you talking about?
Ellen and Joey do that on the I Think Not podcast too, where they'll be like, I just want to, Joey, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you making me look so fucking dumb? You do this you're not better than me. I'm like, it's just so, and then they go, okay, we're back. You guys didn't hear that? Okay. The thing about good podcasts is like ours, is I feel like Joey and Ellen are my friends.
Yeah.
They have no idea who I am, but I'm
Right.
like, we're best friends. Like,
Right.
we hang out. Like Daisy and Ellen and we're gonna hang out this weekend.
Yeah. And that's how it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of podcast that I tend to stray,
yes.
not stray,
she
go back to.
From. Yeah. Because it's just it's like you feel like they're talking to you, not at you. Right. And so that's why I love, I think not with Joey and Ellen. I laugh every single episode.
Yeah.
Every single episode. And I have like those niche inside jokes that every time I hear it in the wild, I want to say it, but I'm like, nobody's going to get this. And then I'll look like a fucking idiot. But they would laugh.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, so, I love that.
Yeah. All right, let's do it.
All right. So we're going to just get into it here.
Let's dive in.
All right, let's dive right in. My notes. Where are my notes? I have some over here.
So we're not diving in. Amy's got to find her notes.
Yeah, I just had them in the wrong tab. I didn't have it open. All right. So usually the first thing I do is search for the clients and or the house. I found both. Kelly and Mike, according to Zillow, are still living in that house.
Wow.
I found the house on Zillow, and it shows the last sale date was November 1st, 2013. And this episode was released in 2018. So that's got to be her.
Mm-hmm.
And it sold, when they bought it, it sold for 69% under the asking price. It dropped.
Wow.
So it was in July of 2013. It was on the market for $109,000. And then just 4 months later, it dropped almost 70% in price.
And
so,
remind the listeners where this is again?
This is in Marshalltown, Iowa.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder if it dropped because of the activity or if there was something else or if it was just on there for a long time. Because that 2013 it was not.
Yeah, it was only on that for that amount for 4 months. And then it dropped.
But that's kind of a long time when you're selling a house, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, it depends.
But then to drop 70%, like usually you drop like, a few thousand.
Right.
You don't drop fucking 70%.
Right. Unless you're me trying to sell my mom's condo. But
which, hey, if anyone's interested, condo in Minneapolis.
Interested, yep. It's actually a co-op, which is what is scaring people away. But it's a great spot. Anyway, so I found a Facebook post that was about this house. And I was reading through all the comments, and one person said, I grew up in this house from 1971 to 1986. Great place with nice neighbors. I even helped build the deck. I saw the Dead Files. I saw the Dead Files show, LOL. Not haunted then. And my bed was up against the attic stairs. Lots of good positive memories. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that doesn't mean that it wasn't haunted. That person might have just been a null.
Yeah, yeah.
And the ghosts were probably pissed off. Like, what do we got to do to scare this person?
Do I have to push your face into the stairs?
Son of a bitch. Sorry, everybody, for your children listening.
Hey, we have a disclaimer on it.
We do.
So someone else then said, well, I lived there for 15 plus years, never anything but a great childhood. Yeah. But that made me wonder, okay, so these people may be just not sensitive enough to be aware of it. But also I wondered if maybe from Kelly and Mike's investigations, because, they were paranormal investigators.
Yeah. Yep.
Maybe they brought something home. I mean,
they could have.
Probably not the dead lady carrying the 2 children around because she died in that house.
Yeah.
But, there were other people that didn't match up, that like when I looked back, they never actually matched up to the people that we were talking about or that Steve found. So those could have been people that, just came home with Kelly and Mike sometime.
Or a third option too is they could just write everything off. Like they hear, oh, I imagined it, or the breeze made the door close or something. Yeah. So
for sure.
But again, we're not just saying that these people who wrote those comments, we don't believe them. We absolutely believe them that they did not have any experiences. But
for sure. Yeah.
That doesn't mean that it's not haunted. It just means that, maybe they couldn't experience them the way Kelly and Mike do.
Right.
So I don't want anyone to think that we're shitting on those Facebook commenters because we're completely not.
Not at all. No.
But But I think the theory that Kelly and Mike brought something home, that might actually be a good one because, I mean, Amy has said that there have been a couple of times where she's brought stuff home.
Yeah.
From investigations.
Yeah.
You know, how long had they been doing investigations? I don't think it was a long time. But it might have been from their first time when they were inexperienced and didn't know to put up guards or barriers or, you know. So, again, there's a lot of different explanations for that.
Sure.
That was a big word.
That is a big word.
I'm so smart.
Explanation of 4 syllables.
Dang.
So I did find Kelly and Mike online, found their last name and everything. I found them on LinkedIn and Facebook, but none of their profiles were updated recently, like in the last few years. So I didn't reach out. I didn't bother them. But Kelly, Mike, if you're listening, or Nikki, or Chris, or the dog, I was thinking about that dog. This was 8 years ago. That dog might not be with us anymore.
Probably not.
But he sure was a cutie.
He was so cute. No good little puppy dog.
But anyway, we'd love to talk to you if you want to come on the show and give us your experiences. That we really liked you, and
oh my gosh, we loved you.
Yeah, and we thought it'd be really fun to talk to you. So if you're out there and you're listening, DM me, email me, send a message.
Yeah,
lots of ways to contact.
Lots of ways. There's even a phone number that you can call.
There is. I don't think I post it anymore because I was starting to get a lot of spam. Like I was starting to get a lot of just junk randos calling and hanging up and shit. But you can leave a voicemail on our website.
Yeah.
Or you can send a text or DM or whatever. Anyway, there was in the one person on the Facebook post, I'm back to that now, the Facebook post.
Sure.
One person posted a photo of the filming at night. Shows like Amy and Matt out front by the car and all that's all lit up. And then there's also lights on inside the house. So that must have been before they went in.
Yeah.
Like they must shut off the lights when Amy comes in.
Yeah.
Anyway. And then one comment said that a couple days after the episode aired, the house was hit by a tornado.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And
that's scary.
Yeah. And when I Googled Mike, I found that he was quoted in a newspaper article about the tornado.
Yeah.
And he's mostly talking about when he was at work, because wherever he was working in downtown, it got hit there. But I read it a while ago. I don't really remember everything he said. But I'll put the link to that blog post. I mean, I'll link it in our blog post. That is so
scary.
I know. So I did find out some more stuff about them, but it wasn't relevant to this. So skip it. When I looked up Angela Braddock, and I'll get to her next, I found on her wiki tree, which I didn't even know that was a thing.
Is that like a family tree?
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, okay.
There was an email in her profile that was written by Kelly and Mike.
Oh, yeah.
To a woman named Kay Braddock, who I assume is a relative of Angie Braddock.
Sure.
I tried searching all around to see if I could find her. And I was like, well, if she's Angie Braddock, because Angie Braddock married Kendall Roberts, so her last name is really Roberts, which means that Braddock is her maiden name.
Yeah.
So now we got to look for people who were connected to Angie, not to Kendall. And I got
that sounds complicated.
Rabbit hole that didn't go anywhere.
That ended in a dead end.
Yeah.
I hate it when those rabbit holes end in a dead end.
I know.
So do the rabbits.
So I will read you that letter.
Okay.
It's an email.
Which is just a modern day letter.
It's a modern day letter. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is from July of 2017.
Okay.
So would have been probably just before
they
the
showed up.
Dead Files. Yeah. The Roberts were the original owners of a home we purchased 3 years ago. The home was built in 1910, located across the street from my childhood home, my parents. We kept our other home and spent 2 years working on this house prior to moving in. The relocation was to be closer to my parents and to assist them as they need. Strange things happen in our home quite often. Wine glasses fly off the rack as we pass by. The covers get pulled off our bed.
Absolutely not.
She talked about in the show.
Yep.
My husband and myself have both been scratched in our sleep.
Was it the dogs?
It was that little white dog.
Were you boozing?
2 of our grandchildren, ages 3 and 4, asked who the old lady was in our spare bedroom upstairs.
Goodbye.
Yeah. They had evidently been talking to her while they were up there.
Sure. No.
I could go on and on, but I simply want to give you an idea of the vast amount of activity that takes place in our home. And then it says, next, we own a business here. One of our businesses, we recently found out, used to be a boarding house in the 1800s, early 1900s.
Great.
Kendall Roberts, which is Angie's husband, the faith healer, was a resident there. We also started having activity at the office after we moved into our home. Our office was in that location for 11 years prior to that with no issues. Interesting. So that tells me they brought something there too.
So the office was the same. But then they moved into the new house that they had been doing construction on. And then once they moved into that house, then the office.
Yep.
They for sure brought something or something followed them.
Yeah. Let's see. It gets better.
Great.
My husband has spent several years compiling data from cemeteries for Find a Grave for genealogy use and others. He has done most of the cemeteries in central Iowa. Marietta Cemetery is the one that he photographed and uploaded all the details from. As I was watching TV one evening, my laptop screen came on and froze to a photo of a headstone. It was Angie's.
No.
Yeah. She said, at that time, I had no idea who she was or that they even owned our home.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. It's as if for 2 years, both of them have in every way been linked to my husband and my lives for some reason or are trying to tell us something important. We also have the information from our abstract that shows the details of the home. I believe, if I remember right, the home was gifted to Kendall and Angie by Kendall's father, who later died in debt. And unfortunately, Kendall and Angie, after losing their children, lost their home to pay off his father's debt. It seems there's been a lot of bad. Looking through our abstract, there was a death of an owner each year for 13 years after Roberts lost the house.
Ooh, and 13 is considered an unlucky number. I mean, usually.
Yeah. She says so many oddities. Therefore, I felt that maybe reaching out and trying to connect might get us some answers. I certainly hope all of this makes sense. Thank you so much for responding and for your time, Kelly and Mike.
That was a letter to the Dead Files.
That was a letter to Kay Braddock, who is a relative of Angie Braddock, and Kay posted this on on this page.
That's
this
right. You said
tree
that. Sorry,
page.
I forgot.
No, that's okay.
That is insane.
So yeah, interesting, huh?
Yeah.
And I thought she ended it with, anyone who might have information about this is encouraged to send a private message, which makes me think it's a Facebook post or something. But Kay says it's an email that she got from Kelly and Mike.
Well, maybe it was an email, but then Kay posted it to her blog or something. And yeah,
that could be.
Yeesh. That is terrifying.
So Angie, she was born in 1862. They moved into the property in 1918.
And Angie's the woman who lost all of her kids, right?
Yes.
Or who's the ghost who was carrying the kids around?
Yes. She had 4 children in total. 2 of them passed. One of them was an infant who didn't even have a name. She must have died in childbirth or even before she was born.
Yeah.
And then the one that choked on a button, that's Paul Roberts, and he died when he was 3.
Yeah.
And then Angie died on March 26, 1922 in that house. Her death certificate says that March 27th, but the wiki thing said, or the genealogy thing said it was March 26th. I don't know. 1 day difference. Who cares?
Yeah. Yeah. Not a big deal.
No. So I had trouble finding Kendall Roberts. Remember they talked about how he was responsible, or that people believed he was responsible for deaths of people who were sick, that he was trying to
because he was the fake doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I Googled him and I had trouble finding him because his name is spelled different every time I turn around.
Great.
So it's either, so in that letter that Kelly wrote, it is Kendall. His death certificate says Kendell.
Okay.
And the newspaper calls him Kendall Kendall, or just KC Roberts.
I would go off the death certificate.
I would too.
Because
these are definitely about him.
Yeah,
the articles I found.
Mm-hmm.
So there at one point there was a coroner's inquiry regarding the death of a church member, and this was in February of 1898.
Mm-hmm.
But the jury was censured. Now, I didn't know what that meant, so I asked Morgan.
Can I take a guess at what it means?
Uh-huh.
Is it like the jury is anonymous and you don't know who's in the jury, but like a spokesperson says no? Okay, I got nothing then.
Nope. I'll read a little bit of the article. It says the coroner's inquiry sitting in the case of Miss Mary Rambaugh, who died at Marshalltown after being treated by K.C. Roberts, a Christian Science healer, returned the following verdict, which leaves the questions open to further prosecution if desired. Now, this is in quotes. Said jurors upon oath do say that we have taken testimony in the case of Mrs. Mary Rambaugh and are satisfied that she came to her death from heart disease, but that we censure her brother, Gregory Granville, and Dr. K.C. Roberts for neglect of proper medical attention.
So it's almost like an accessory.
Yeah, the brother for sure.
Yeah. Or like a cause, like while you didn't cause her death, you didn't do anything to stop her death.
Yeah.
And I've never heard that before.
But the censure just means that we don't have enough to say we need to have a trial for these people.
Mm-hmm.
But we do think there's something hinky. Mm-hmm. And we are leaving it open to a prosecution in the future should you find more evidence.
Got it.
Blah, blah, blah.
Got it.
So the way that Morgan broke it down for me is that they were saying, we believe this woman died from heart disease, but we formally shame and blame these people for failing to get her proper medical attention.
And I mean, back then, formally shaming someone was a big deal.
Exactly.
Like that could ruin your life.
Yeah. That's actually what Morgan said too.
Oh my God, Morgan and I are so good at it.
I know. She said, important distinction. Coroner's jury is not the same as a criminal trial jury. And she said it means not yet convicted, but definitely put on blast in the newspapers of the day, which back then was practically the social equivalent of being dragged through the town behind a tuba section.
Yeah. Well, I mean, geez. That's a very good picture, Morgan. Thank you for that.
So then Robert skipped town after this.
Well, he had to. I mean, what else could he do? Yeah. Nobody else would go to him.
Yeah.
You know, for your Christian Science, Dr. Tomfoolery.
Tomfoolery. So the judge dismissed the case on grounds of insufficient evidence, stating that his action was not to be construed as meaning that Christian Scientists had any right under the law to practice the healing art without first complying with the statutes.
Good.
So there was no trial.
No.
Then a year later, in 1899, he was indicted for a man who died of typhoid fever under his care. The coroner's inquiry turned the same censured thing as Mary's case. And this man was Frank Howell.
Okay, but how many people have to die before somebody is like, wait, this is a pattern? And I feel like we're going through the same thing today. Like, how many people need to die before we're like, wait a minute, this is not right.
Right.
So glad to see nothing's changed in 100 years.
Nothing changes.
Great.
Just feels like it's changing, but it really isn't.
Yeah.
One interesting thing I found on newspapers.com is there's an article where Angie filed for divorce from Kendall.
Yep. When?
In, let's see if I have the date.
Because the last two trials you talked about were late 1890s.
Right. It was 1899, I want to say.
Okay. So she was like, I'm done with you.
Yeah.
Was the divorce granted?
No.
Ugh,
no.
Of course not.
Applications made in Robert's divorce case are denied.
Of course not.
Yeah. So she was divorcing him, saying that he neglected his family due to the defendant's work in the church. She claims that
that was a terrible thing for her to have said, honestly. Yeah. And I'm not blaming her, but like he's been on trial here for fucking murder twice. Like maybe use that.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably a good portion of the reason. And then he's sending money to other people in the church.
Mm-hmm. Well, that wouldn't have flown. I'm sorry, but like, and I'm not blaming her. Like, she had limited resources at the time.
Yeah.
But the 1890s, you know, from what I remember, were, I mean,
that was like it was yesterday.
Like it was yesterday. America was still pretty religious. So, you know, trying to divorce somebody because they're giving too much money to a church, nobody's going to see that as being harmful.
Although I don't think that people saw his church as a church like you would see that, you know, your Lutheran church or your Catholic church. Because it sounds to me like they all thought it was
like it was tomfoolery.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But anyway, she did not get the divorce granted
for her.
And so she applied for the divorce in October. It was denied in November. She was still married to him. They were still married at the time of both of their deaths because their death certificate has each other as like his says widowed.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he died a year after her. His says widowed. Hers says married to.
Yeah.
And so she was married to him for 24 years after she tried to divorce him.
That's got to have been horrible for her.
Yeah.
Because not only do you have to live with it, but now he knows that you wanted to leave. So what's he going to do with that?
Probably nothing that he wasn't already doing before.
That's true.
I mean, so yeah, he died of chronic kidney disease, which I looked at it. It didn't say kidney disease on the death certificate. So I was digging around and trying to figure out what
did the death certificate say?
It said CR period nephritis. So chronic nephritis, which is kidney disease.
Oh,
I just didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's what it said. And then when I saw that's what it said, I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah. Why do we got to use fancy words, you guys?
I don't know.
Just say kidney disease.
Old timey.
Yeah.
So he died just 1 year after Angie, but he did not die in the house. In fact, he wasn't even living there. His death certificate shows that is from the county Cerro Gordo and Mason City as the city. So I'm going to assume they were separated.
I was just going to say maybe they were only married in name and like they were completely living separate lives, which I hope so for her sake.
Yeah.
I don't care about him, but I hope so for her sake.
Do you hate ads? You might want to consider joining us over on Patreon. Tiers start at $3 a month, but all tiers get equal access with perks such as ad-free episodes that drop earlier than the public release, virtual happy hours where we swap ghost stories face-to-face, and other exclusive content like behind-the-scenes stuff, extras like bingo cards, and bloopers and outtakes too. Join our tight-knit, witchy cool community that actually gets your paranormal memes. Creep on over to patreon.com/theactivitycontinues. We hope to see you in the Haunted Lounge.
Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance, all backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.
Have you ever wanted to sip on something that tastes like a potion and feels like a spell without waking up to a haunted inbox of regret the next day? Yeah, us too. That's why we're still obsessed with 3 Spirit, our favorite line of plant-based, non-alcoholic elixirs. These drinks are not your average just add bubbles mocktails. No ma'am. These are mood-shifting, spirit-lifting, botanically enhanced brews made by actual plant nerds, bar wizards, and maybe a forest witch or two. Whether you're conjuring courage for a social gathering, chilling out with your spirit guides, or just vibing solo while listening to a paranormal podcast, like, I don't know, this one, there's a blend for you. Our go-to, the Nightcap. It's like a hug from a friendly ghost. Smooth, dreamy, and perfect before bed. But don't sleep on the others. Each one has its own magic. You can get 15% off your first order with our link. Just head to 3spiritdrinks.com and use code The Activity Continues at checkout. So raise your glass or your cauldron and drink to your health, your spirits, and maybe even the activity that continues. All right, so moving on to the other people. Victim Susan K. Vicker. She's the veterans home, and she was kidnapped and murdered and blah, blah, blah by Jerry Sumter Jr. He's the one with all the... Oh, no, he's not the one with all the appeals. I get Jerry and Joel mixed up.
I thought Jerry was the one with the appeals.
I think it's Joel. Yeah, it's Joel Smitherman.
Okay.
Anyway, so yes, this was in 1980. She was divorced. She had 3 children. She was an LPN nurse. And her cause of death was basal skull fracture with cerebral hemorrhage.
Why you gotta scorn Basil's name like that? They do good work, like pesto.
Yeah, right.
We all know how I love pesto.
I do too. So it says blow to the head. This is on her death certificate. It's a blow to the head, and then in parentheses, exact cause and type undetermined.
Ooh,
I couldn't find anything else on her, but it was a homicide.
Yeah.
Jerry Sumter Jr. He is the murderer. Mm-hmm. He's the one. Oh, he is. You're right. He's the one that kept filing appeals.
Yeah.
And we talked about most of these. Megan, you read them. Yeah. A bunch of stuff that you found, so I'm not going to rehash all that.
I mean, he was appealing very recently, though. Very recently.
Yeah.
I want to say in the 2020s, he'd had appealed.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And yeah, it was the stupidest reasons. I can't remember them. That's how stupid they were. I think I read them in this episode. So if you want to listen to what they are, go back and listen to that episode.
Yeah, you can go back and listen to that.
They're fucking dumb.
They're just dumb.
It's like, my page was white paper when I wanted yellow paper. Yeah. And for that reason, we should appeal.
I remember one of them was that he said that the judge didn't explain what reasonable doubt was.
Yes. Yeah. And he was like, how is the jury supposed to know?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
they just said I was guilty and that they don't understand that.
It's literally the phrase, reasonable doubt. They're not 4-syllable words like me.
Yeah. Like you. Me is only 1 syllable.
I know, but I use. You're right. That was pretty funny.
So yeah, I did find an article, probably one of the same ones that you found. And so I'll put the links in the show notes and you guys can all dig around that if you want to, or I'll put it in the blog post. But on this one website, a law website called Justia Law, said on February 5th, 1984, he called police from a convenience store to report a murder. The victim was a girl who was working at the store. She was raped and beaten to death, and he was taken to the police. And I couldn't figure out how he was able to be in a convenience store in 1984 when he killed Susan in 1980. Well, the reason...
It probably took him a long time to build a case.
Yeah.
Because, when was DNA evidence? I mean, that was late 80s, I think.
I don't remember, but yeah, it probably was.
I don't know
if they even used DNA for this. Well, at any rate, the woman that was in the convenience store, her name was Janet Lewis, or Levis, Levis, spelled differently in different places. But he was convicted in Marshall County District Court and sentenced to consecutive life terms.
Okay.
And so that is where he was appealing. He appealed all of those too.
Yeah.
Confession mechanics and, so he said it was coerced and all that. And he said they promised to get him alcohol treatment if he said he did it. And it's all sorts of shit like that.
So I did a quick cursory Google search and it says DNA evidence was first used in a criminal investigation in 1986 in England. So 1986 UK, the first forensic case of DNA profiling to catch a suspect and clear an innocent person. 1987 was the first use in a U.S. courtroom. It was the People v. Wesley. And the first DNA-based conviction in the U.S. was Florida v. Andrews. So this was, I mean, that was 7 years after he killed
Susan,
and 4 years after, or 3 years after the convenience store.
Right. Yeah.
It must have been so easy to commit crimes.
Yeah.
Like you literally just did not have to be at the scene.
Look at things that, that crime stories that we know from the 20s, 30s, 40s, Black Dahlia, Zodiac. I mean,
John
all those
Bonet.
things, yeah.
Which was the 90s.
Right. Well, yeah. Kenda says that'll never be solved because they fucked it up too much.
They did. I mean, they he moved her body. Oh, I don't want to get into it.
I know.
But yeah, like it must have been so easy to commit a crime before DNA and all this technology.
Yeah.
Like you literally just had to not be at the crime scene.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is while he was serving the life sentences from this Janet murder. That's when a prison inmate came forward and said, "Oh, he's been bragging about killing Susan."
Yeah.
So that's how that all happened.
Which, like, I get that, but also, how reliable can prison informants be?
True. And this guy had a reason to lie because he had a bunch of convictions that he was hoping to get overturned. For ratting him out. So. Yeah,
and again, I'm not saying that the informant was lying, but I'm just saying I think there should be a lot of skepticism around prison informants.
Well, and this ended up being in 1989 when he was able to be convicted for Susan. So I think maybe they did do some DNA. I don't know. I didn't.
They might have.
I couldn't find anything about that. He's still in prison. He's still alive.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
And then next we have the victim, the Hobo Con Man, Richard Joe Tasler. I keep wanting to say Tasler because there's only one S, but Tasler. And I have some photos of him. Tasler.
Which one is it? I'm confused now.
It's Tasler. That's how they pronounced it in the show.
Okay.
He disappeared May 1986. His body was found March 1990.
Whoa, that was a long time.
Yeah. And it was just because somebody had a tip. Oh, check into Joel's property.
Yeah. Oh.
So he was a jeweler. His place was Bauble's Jewelry. And he was friends with his killer, Joel Smitherman. And they ran around and did business together.
Sure.
Drug trade.
Of course.
Is what they were.
Well, it was the 80s, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Tasler was last seen at a convenience store. And I went, is this the same convenience store as the other lady?
Sensing a theme. Maybe don't go to that convenience store.
I hope that's closed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
security's amped up.
All right. Oh,
maybe get some CCTV footage there.
Yeah. That night he went missing. He had stopped for gas and left his revolver there because he was going to visit his mom, and she didn't like him carrying a gun. And so he just left it there. Said, I'll be back for it after I go say hi to my ma.
He's like, here, Fred, watch my 9mm. I just got to pop over to mom's for an hour.
Yep. Well, he never came back.
That's unfortunate.
So there were numerous reports of him being seen all over the world, including Japan. So, like, they didn't take his missing very seriously because they were like, no, I saw him. So who knows? But it's on the death certificate. The informant is Angela Tasler. And I didn't know who that was because it said
his wife
he was divorced. I thought it was a wife, but he was divorced.
Sister?
And his mother's name was Edith. It was his daughter.
Oh.
And his mother, Edith, she died in 1989, the year before his body was found. So she never
my God.
got to find out what happened to him.
Oh.
I mean, she probably knows now.
She probably knows. As soon as she passed, she probably knew. But
yeah.
That's horrid.
So now on to Joel Smitherman.
Yes.
After Richard's body was found, at this time, Joel Smitherman was already serving a sentence for aiding and abetting and attempting to kill a federal witness.
Sure. As you do.
Yeah. And for distributing cocaine and conspiracy to distribute cocaine.
So how do you prove a conspiracy to distribute cocaine?
You got an email from somebody that says, hey, let's go give this cocaine to somebody.
I got some coke. You want to distribute it? And they're like, that's conspiracy right there.
Yep. If two people talk about doing something, it's conspiracy. Two or more. U.S. attorney says he was, quote, trying to hire someone to kill the only witness who could connect him to the drug transaction. So you're going to go to prison for selling cocaine or murder? You choose.
Well, it's like the people who, instead of get divorced, they kill their spouses.
Yeah.
Like, really? That was a poor choice.
Yeah.
My guy, because it's almost always men. I'm just saying.
Right. That's right.
I don't want to get divorced. I'm going to kill her.
Yeah. It'll be easier that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times it's because I don't want to split up the money.
Yes. Yes. Or they don't want to pay alimony.
Mm-hmm.
Or like Chris Watts, they want to just start a whole new life with no kids. Fucking hate that guy.
Oh, that guy's the worst. Fucking worst.
All you had to do was watch 1 second of an interview with him, and you were like, he did it.
Yep.
He 100% did it.
That the first time I saw him standing on the porch,
I was like, he did it. That's
guy.
the guy right there.
Fucker.
I just wish they'd come home. Well, really? Then you shouldn't have buried him in a fucking oil tank in the ground.
Right.
You fucking piece of shit.
Totally.
Sorry, I didn't tangent, but it's always the men.
Yeah, we're both pretty passionate about that case.
Oh my God.
I can't even stand to look at his face.
No, I look, I can't even finish a sentence.
Aye. All right. So fun fact.
Yes.
This guy, the murder for hire that they were dealing with, his co-conspirator or co-trial, person that went on trial with him, a woman named Barbara Sharp from St. Paul, Minnesota.
Oh, local
ties.
Look at us getting out there. For the wrong reasons, though, Barb.
Yeah. Right.
Don't want those.
No. So he wasn't convicted of Tasler's murder until April of 2005.
What?
Even though they uncovered the body in 1990 and the murder happened in 86.
20 years?
Yeah. So then I wrote, what the fuck is going on in Marshalltown Police in the 80s through the aughts? 2 murders that took forever to solve. So I thought, maybe I'll look that up. Open cases in Marshalltown, 51. 51 open cases of murder.
You should have pulled an Ellen and called up their police department and been like, why is this taking so long?
Get on it. Get on the stick.
What's the population of Marshalltown?
Oh, I don't know.
Because if it's like 2 million people, then 51 isn't that much.
I don't think.
But if it's like 1,000, then 51 is kind of a lot.
Yeah. I think it's approximately 27,000. 27.
So kind of a lot.
27,886.
Are they
I
all
thought it was
murders?
smaller than that. The 51, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yep. So, and in the last episode, we talked about how many peels a person can make and if there are limits. And there are. They are not.
Can I guess?
Hard and fast.
Can I guess?
You can, but I won't be able to tell you what the answer is because there isn't really one.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm going to say 5.
Okay.
But I know it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know how many that guy had, though. I think it was at least 5. But it says, yes, there are functional limits to the number of appeals, although not necessarily a hard fixed numerical limit on filing, especially in complex or capital cases. Defendants generally have an automatic right to 1 direct appeal after conviction, followed by opportunities for discretionary appeals to a higher state or federal courts, often capped by time limits, legal grounds, and finality rules.
Got it. So they could appeal to if they were convicted by the state or the city, for example, they could appeal to the state.
Yeah.
And if they declined it, then they could appeal to the Supreme Court.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's per conviction, I would assume. So if you have 3 convictions, you get multiple appeals on each one.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think so. Yeah. I mean, I
Follow
suppose
us for more legal advice.
Now we need to get pictures of ourselves as lawyers.
Yes. We have our Juris Doctorate and our MD.
Yeah, that's right.
Just getting a lot here.
Yep.
Wow.
All right.
Okay. That's nice and vague, which I expect nothing less from the government.
I know. Anyway, so now on to the 1903 fire. So we were gabbing during this whole time this guy was talking about the fire. I know that's surprising. I know that's hard to believe. I know.
Because this is the one we watched together, right?
Yes.
At your house. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking at I'm like, the 1903 fire, I wrote it down in my notes to look it up. And I'm like, I don't remember anybody talking about a fire. Well, no, because we were yabbity yakking the whole time. So they talked to a guy named Marty. That's Marty Mitchell was the professional
like
that Steve went and
historian.
Yeah, he was a historian.
I think he was
a genealogist,
not a gynecologist.
So it was a fire in 1903. Either Marty gave no details about the fire, or it was edited out.
Mm-hmm.
Then Marty, or the editing, made it sound like this man died in the fire, or at least right after it. He did not.
Really?
This is Ross Ingledew. Marty told us about a father and a son. The son is Ross. He was a firefighter. He was putting out this fire. It was a very cold night, and all the firefighters got very wet from the, putting out the fire, and it was very cold. So a lot of them got sick.
Yeah.
And so this was confusing to me. So Ross, the son, who was in the fire, it was a bitter cold night. The firefighters worked all night and they were soaking wet. He was the fourth member of the old Woodbury Hose Company under the volunteer firefighter department system to die as a result of a severe cold contracted while fighting a single fire.
4 people died from this?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
So Marty said that he had lung damage that led to TB, tuberculosis, which led to his death. And that's how the other 3 died. So I'm going to put a pin in that for right now. Ross was 24 years old. But this is, Amy smells that burning and she says someone died here in a fire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, it's not Ross because he didn't die in a fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think the show was edited to make us think it was Ross that Amy saw, but I don't think it was.
Especially if he didn't die the way that they said
he didn't die in the fire, and they never talked about it in the in the reveal either.
Yeah. Or if they did, they edited it out.
Yeah, exactly. So then the father, Ross's father, is Oliver Ingledew, also known as OL.
Mm-hmm.
There's a picture of him in the drive if you want to look. I couldn't find a picture of Ross. Shortly after Ross's death, his father, Oliver, the mayor, buys the client's property.
Mm-hmm.
So then he served as mayor of Marshalltown from 1905 to 1911. And he was remembered for his interest in sanitation and garbage disposal in the city. And the articles I found did not make him look like a bad guy.
Yeah.
And Marty said that he was allowing alcohol during Prohibition. And
2 thumbs up.
I know. And but he made it sound like the way that Marty said it in the episode was like, because we were paying attention at this point. He said this guy did everything for himself. He only looked out for his own personal gains, blah, blah, blah. And you and I were like, that sounds like somebody we know.
Yeah.
But anyway,
every politician ever.
Yeah, pretty much.
Interesting.
But I felt like the show made him seem like he was more of a bad guy than
I mean, they've done that multiple times.
Yeah, I know.
So he passed in 1923?
He passed in 1923 at age 61 of diabetes.
And when did Ross die?
Ross died in 07.
Oh, wow. So he lived a long time without him. 14 years.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Math. 16? I don't know.
Something like that.
Some number without him.
Yeah.
Of diabetes.
Diabetes. And this is where Amy was talking about where they kept flashing to Amy, and she was tying her hair under her chin and she was fidgeting. And she said he did bad things. And I'm saying this does sound like it could be Oliver, but if she's saying he died in a fire, it's not, because Oliver had nothing to do with the fire.
No.
His son died 4 years after a fire as a result of getting sick, lung damage, blah, blah, blah. So then I looked into this because this is our medical, not a doctor section.
Yep.
Even though my mom always said I couldn't go outside with wet hair because you'll catch your death of cold.
Yeah, that's totally not proven.
Yeah. I questioned the idea that one could get TB from being out in the cold. So I turned to the Googs, and you cannot get a severe cold or any cold simply from being outside cold or wet, as viruses cause colds, not temperatures. So take that, Babs.
Plus, TB is not, it's transmitted via air.
Yeah, it's a different thing too.
Yeah,
it's a bacteria.
Completely different.
Yeah. So, however, being cold and wet can lower your body temperature and temporarily weaken your immune system, making you more susceptible to viruses if you are exposed to them. So then I looked up, can you get TB from being outside in the cold? No. It's caused by bacteria, Mycobacterium tuberculosis, not by temperature. However, getting cold and wet can stress your body, and prolonged exposure to cold may weaken your immune system, making you more susceptible to illnesses if you are exposed to the bacteria, especially through close contact with an infected person. Yeah, so it was lung damage from fighting the fire, not the cold and wet. And yes, smoke inhalation can increase your susceptibility to tuberculosis, though it does not directly cause tuberculosis.
Right. Oh, that's good to know.
So smoke damages the lungs' defenses, making it easier for the bacteria to establish an infection if you are exposed to it. So
maybe they just thought it was TB because they didn't have any other, like they didn't know anything else.
Yeah, I mean, so it could have been
anything that they contributed to the lungs. They just said, well, that's TB. Because what else could it be?
It could be. Yeah, that could be. I'm thinking if one of those men got it and they were hanging out together, they were still friends and hanging out together, maybe they passed it around to the other, 4 of them all died from the same thing. Yeah.
And I mean, you got to think, at least nowadays, firehouses, they're pretty, like when they're on a shift, they're there for like 24, 48 hours, like close contact, probably sleeping in the same room. They're eating together. Like they're in close contact. So I think that's logical, where if one of them had something, it would be very easy to be passed around.
Especially if the others are already susceptible because they have damage to their lungs.
And weakened immune system from, for sure.
Okay, turning on to, do you remember when they were doing the sketch and we were watching the sketch artist and he was going tap, tap, tap,
yes,
tap,
yes,
tap,
yes, yes, yes.
And you said, I think it's called Pointillism.
Yes.
And I didn't know because I'd never heard of that. And you were like, I'm going with it. You were right.
Oh my God.
Ding,
I
ding,
love
ding.
those words.
I know.
I'm so smart.
I had never heard of it, but I looked it up. And yes, painting using small, distinct dots of color that blend together when viewed from a distance is called pointillism.
That one really famous painting of the park where it's like the woman in the parasol is pointillism.
It is. And that, it said that it's developed in the late 1880s by George Seurat. And when I saw that, I said, isn't that the Sunday in the Park with George?
Yep.
And so I Googled it. Also, did I learn that is not the name of the painting? I thought it was. The name of the painting is A Sunday on La Grande Jetée.
Oh, okay.
Sundays in the Park with George is a Pulitzer Prize-winning musical by Stephen Sondheim.
Nice.
But it is inspired by that painting.
Yeah.
A Sunday afternoon on the island of La Grande Jetée. So, not to be confused.
Look at all that useless information that's in my head.
But this is the thing. I go, oh, how about that? But then what about this? And then what about So that's why we're Yeah. And then also Grande Jetée is also a ballet term. It's spelled a little differently. And it means a big throw. It's basically when the dancer leaps up in the air and does the split.
Oh, yeah.
While they're in the air.
Yep. Yeah, I do that every morning when I get up.
That's my workout.
Yeah. Just Grande Jetée through the house.
Yeah, let's Grande Jetée. It's good for you.
It is. Yeah.
Which then made me think of Marta. The little ballerina Marta.
Yeah, who's a yellow flower in the desert.
Yeah.
It all comes back.
All right, that's all I got.
That's good. That was a lot. That's all you got? An hour later.
An hour later.
That was a good dive.
It's been almost an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll have all the links to all my sources, everything I found. I'll put it all in I probably put it in the show notes because that makes the show notes too long and then they make me take part of it out.
Yeah.
But I have a blog post with all that stuff. So you guys can go over there and look at it and read even more, dive into more rabbit holes as you desire. And
as
if
your
you
little
do that,
heart's desire.
Yeah. If you do that, come on back and comment on either the video or the blog post and say what you found. And we'll do some extra corrections or whatever if we need to.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. And I think next time we record, we're going to do in person again, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
And we'll just, I have all of the episodes that are eligible that we have not done yet in a hat of my dad's hat.
Yay.
So we just pull one out of the hat. And
that was so fun.
And then we'll
do it.
We'll wing it. We'll wing it.
That's how we always do it. Just kidding.
Right.
Amy is very prepared. I'm the winger.
Not us. Well, sometimes. I like not watching it ahead of time.
I do.
I like watching it together. I know that we miss some stuff because we yammer too much, but we need to actually remember to pause before we yammer. Instead of talking over it, because then we miss it.
Because then we're like, wait, who said that?
Yeah.
True story.
And also, I got the whole episode edited and I put it up to YouTube, and YouTube said, no, to fuck not.
Oh.
So I did cut a lot out, but apparently not enough.
Not enough.
So
I really thought talking over it would be okay.
Yeah, I did too.
Not.
But apparently not. So all I had to do is cover up the screen that had the Dead Files part in it.
Yep.
And I just made a note on there to say, if you want to see the whole thing with the Dead Files playing in the background, come over to Patreon, because that's where I posted it, and that's where you'll be able to see it. So maybe we'll get some more patrons.
Yay!
Do it that way. I hope so. Yeah. All right. So we'll see you guys next time.
All right. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Activity Continues podcast. We really appreciate you giving us your ears for a bit. Please feel free to drop us a note and say hi. And join us next time when the activity continues.
Nailed it.
The Activity Continues is produced by me, Amy, at Collected Sounds Media, and is part of the independent Collected Sounds podcast network.
Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions, pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance, all backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.